Hello and welcome to Wisdom and Productivity, the podcast of Dr. Efraim Martinez. I am a school principal in search of wisdom, and I have found productivity to be a great tool for life success. Today's episode is titled Six Proustian Skills for a Better 2022 2023 School Year of Strength and Success. So, as you know, for school people who work in schools and school districts, July 1st means the beginning of the new year. It's a special event because it really starts the race for the type of year that you want to have. And if there's one thing that I have learned from the pandemic is that we must take advantage of every single opportunity that we have to do things better. That's why Teach Better is a great partner in this journey. Let's give them some recognition, and here we go.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. Now let's get back to the episode.
So, lately, in the summer, I have decided to dedicate a significant amount of time in reading Marcel's Proust Swan's Way. The first of the, I believe it's seven or eight novels in the Search of Lost Time of the French writer. I got interested in this because I learned that is this is one of the most influential works in terms of describing life, and especially what happens inside our minds. And there's so many interesting things. I am not at all an expert, but I am learning more about this, and as I read, I have done quite a lot of research in terms of understanding what it's all about. So what attracted me again to Proust is something like with this quote: these dreams reminded me that since I wish someday to become a writer, it was high time to decide what sort of books I was going to write. But as soon as I asked myself the question and tried to discover some subject to which I could impart a philosophical significance of infinite value, my mind will stop like a clock. My consciousness will be faced with a blank. I will feel either that I was wholly devoid of talent, or perhaps that some malady of the brain was hindering its development. That part that it says, tried to discover some subject to which I could impart a philosophical significance of infinite value, is what I am trying to emulate with this episode. What are the parts that we can appropriate from the greatest minds and implement them in our lives? So there is the apparently the most successful scene in the book is in the first part, towards the beginning, where the character picks a Madeleine cookie and a cup of tea, and the moment there's an intersection between them in his taste, it jolts him back to the past, for him to traveling in time. And from here, there has been so many emulations. And when people say something is Proustian, it indicates something that takes you back to a memory. In fact, here I have the definition. Proustian, relating to or characteristic of the French writer Marcel Proust, or his works, particularly with reference to the recovery of the lost past and the stimulation of unconscious memory. So that item, that part of jolting you back to memory, how can we use this concept for us to have a better 2022-23 school year of strength and success? So I found online a Twitter thread by the username Psy Papers, PSY Papers. And there's some images that I'm going to show you here that as I was observing them, they jolted me back in memory. And I'm going to share some examples on how we can ensure to use our Proustian skills to decide not to do the same mistakes or to avoid the challenges that we may have avoided in the past, and for us to make better decisions. So here's the first one. Let me put it a little bit bigger for the audience that is observing this. There you go. So, who are the best teachers in life? In the image that I'm showing, it says that betrayal, failure, your empty pockets and when you're broke, your heartbreak, time, rejections, experiences, and mistakes. It says that those are the best teachers of life. So absolutely, I can think about in terms of betrayal, the times that has happened to me where I have felt that someone have betrayed me. That it gives you a lesson of life of now you know better in what is it that you want to avoid a situation where you are betrayed. Failure. I was telling my daughter today that when I was in college, in my first year in the United States, I got a C in a science class. I think it was Earth science, and oh my gosh, I cried all day long, and I thought I was gonna be a failure for life, and I was never gonna be able to find any success because I thought that C was a failure and therefore I was a failure, a loser. I will never be able to do that. And how often do you see that with students that they have a little fall or they fail a test or they have a breakup and they feel that they have been betrayed, and for them that is the most important thing. The most important thing is that. And how can we use our Proustian skills to remember how we felt, what we learned from it, and how can we prepare our students, ourselves, our families to have a better year? Time. Time is one of the best teachers of life. Um, we have to teach our generations that it's important to be on time, that it's important to respect the time of others. Because when you are late, what you are teaching to the other person is that their time is not important. And that causes so many issues. in life that we must avoid. Rejections. How many times have you been rejected and you thought it was the end of the world? How can we teach students that it is okay to be rejected? And we can use so many examples of individuals who were rejected. The first one that comes to mind is Albert Einstein, and how many times he felt like a total outcast and a total failure, um, and nobody wanted his opinions. And there's many others. And finally, mistakes. It is about mistakes that we build our home. We build each floor with the foundation that our mistakes set. It is very important to know, to explain to our students, for us to know as educators, for us to know as human beings in a society that is in crisis, that the crisis is going nowhere, and we have to navigate through those using the best teachers of life. Number two, it is so important to know what to let go and what to hold tight. In the image, the things that are being let go are fear, anger, envy, ego, pain, and hate. Please ensure that you lose your fear, as most of your fears are not real and they're only in your imagination. Let go of anger, because when you are angry, nothing good comes out of it. It is so important that you let go of envy. Do not compare yourself with others, as there's only one individual in the entire world that is like you. Therefore, instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself as how you were yesterday. Let go of your ego. Ego is what gets us in trouble when it is only about us. Think more about others. This is difficult. It is very hard. It is embedded in our DNA. But we have the ability to focus in how to let go of it. Let go of hate. Do not say, I hate this, I hate that. Especially teach this to children, because the words that we say matter. And when we give something so much importance as to hate it, then how much bandwidth you are giving away. And finally, regret. It is okay to reflect. It is okay to say, I should have done better, but rather into going into the trajectory of regretting, going to the trajectory on how to do it better by analyzing your steps, what you could have done better, what are you going to do to ensure that the next time is better. In this beautiful image, also we have the areas of the things to hold tight. Hope. Don't give up your hope. I know it is so against what perhaps you and I were taught, that at some point we were going to arrive into a destination where everything is beautiful and perfect. There's no death, no suffering. But obviously, if you see history throughout the centuries, this has never occurred, and probably it will not occur in our lifetimes. Therefore, keep up your hope. You will need it every day. You will need your strength, not only strength of your the health of your physical body, but also of your mindset. It is important to keep your health set also in shape, being patient, understanding that everybody has their own histories and everybody is trying to navigate in a sea of emotions. And the best thing that you can do is be patient and support people. Make sure that you hold on into gratitude, that you are graceful, that you are thankful. When someone does even the little smallest thing, say thank you so much. I appreciate, and do it sincerely. Don't let go your happiness, as this is something that you have to create, as it is formulated by how you think about things. Make sure to keep your courage, because definitely it is something that you will need to navigate through the difficulty of this life. Don't forget to rest, make sure you sleep, make sure that you keep also your peace. And this is something that only you can do if you focus in the areas that you can control. The next one. Sometimes we believe that if we have a great day, it means that we just navigate through life with no incidents, no issues, no difficulties. But the truth is that often these great days are ruined not because of the conditions that are outside of our control, but because of conditions that are under our control. So, some of the things that make the navigation of life tumultuous and impossible is being a perfectionist, believing that every time you're going to do something has to be the absolute best time. I think it's called the syndrome, that when you're going to watch a movie by yourself or with your loved ones, you want to ensure that that movie you select is the best movie you have ever seen, and therefore you never find the movie or the episode that you want to watch, because it's never going to meet that criteria that you have created in your mind, and you are the only one you can uncreate. Another thing that impacts the way that impacts the potential of your success is your procrastination. Knowing that you have to do something but not doing it, saying later, not preparing a plan, not making a checklist, not setting due dates, and not integrating your calendar. So, for you not to procrastinate, you need to ensure that you coordinate your actions to be secondary in your life, so your life can be first, instead of putting your action items as the priority in your life. And finally, overthinking. How many times have we thought so much about something and we lose track of what we needed to do? I know, for example, in my family, individuals who lived together for 40 years, and they overthought so much of saying the truth. So they decided not to say the truth, and that made life miserable. So, you as a professional, as an individual, as a partner, as a parent, as a teacher, as principal, it is so important that you have to let go of overthinking things so much and get to do things in a way that are structured, so you are more able to attain the success that you are trying to aim. The next one, beautiful image of two canvases. It says, "It's all in your hands." So on the left side, it says, yesterday it might have been a rainy day. I was depressed. I was unsuccessful. Um, Nothing went on well. Um, and today is all in my hands. I can decide to continue with that mopiness and staying inside that hole, or I can decide to start a brand new canvas and to make my day at least 1% better than the one from yesterday. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. So there's an image of on a in a jumpy in a jumpy thingy, and a person is jumping high, and the idea is that the harder that you fall, the higher you bounce. Okay, so sometimes you need to fail more significantly than usual because you're closer to reach your point. And we must embrace this because what is coming to us this next school year is going to be a completely new challenge, an unprecedented challenge of students going through this transition of pseudo post COVID era. So it is very important that we work in the self-esteem of ourselves so we can support the students' self-esteem. We need to believe and use examples with students so they can internalize and put themselves in the mind of the person who's saying this. So you as the educator, you have the opportunity to get yourself in the position that you are so empathetic that every student is able to place their mind inside yours and see what you saw and learn from your mistakes so they can keep accumulating data on how to ensure that they can have a better life than you and I did. And finally, Pareto's Law. So it's basically, it says that 80% of results stem from 20% of actions. Prioritize and focus on what's important. So I remember working as some sort of telemarketer when I began my professional trajectory, and they kept saying you need to work harder and harder, and that always stuck with me because when I started failing in a job that I was not meant to do, in my mind, I was not working hard enough because I was not getting the successes that the telemarketing company wanted me to accomplish. So, in a way, I have given up my life's worth and converted it into what they thought the worth was what was it worth. uh, so in those times of very low self-esteem, I was working a significant amount of hours, doing extra time, thinking that that would give better results. But Pareto's Law demonstrated that it is only 20% of our actions that give the results. So you start thinking, wow, so if I am working 12-hour shifts, running 100% per hour, but only 20% of that time is what is going to give me the results, then it's not that smart or wise to keep working 12 hours a day, running 1,000,000 miles per hour. Now, what you can apply and what you can teach to students is that if you set up what is that you need to accomplish and you prioritize what you need to do first and second and third and make a task list or a to-do list, you add it into your calendar, you focus on the priorities, you set up the time that you need to accomplish those goals, then you're going to be more likely to work less amount of time and accomplish more of your goals. How amazing is that? I think that we can use this analogy of Proust drinking the tea and the Madeleine cookie and being jolted back to that moment. So think about when you have done all these things. Think about when you have been in that moment, making that mistake. Analyze it. See it in yourself as if it was a TV, as if you're rewinding and observing yourself, because it is only then that you're more likely to have a school year of strength and success. Thank you so much, audience of wisdom and productivity. It is a pleasure to be here with you. Today is a beautiful Sunday. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Peace and calm.
Thank you for listening to Wisdom and Productivity, the podcast of Dr. Eparim Martinez.
Chulu.
And I love that production. Chill out.